guys, I'm your literally book fanatic, and today I'm going to do an A to Z of YA books. So what does this mean? It means I'm going to do an entire alphabet, so from A to Z of YA books. So I'm going to name a YA book for every single letter in the alphabet, and I'm going to give you a one-sentence synopsis of that book, and I will say if I liked it or not, because most of them I have read, and only some of them I haven't read and I want to read. And there are also a couple letters I didn't fill in, but I will talk to you about that at the end of the video. A is for Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, which is the first book in the Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe duology by Benjamin Alire Sáenz. This book is about two boys who are trying to find themselves and each other. And I absolutely adored this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. B is for Bomb by Sarah Mussi. This book is about an innocent girl gets a bomb strapped to her and needs to get this bomb off of her so she will survive. I really like this book. It's about really terrorism and it's really actual and talks about some really serious topics. C is for The Coldest Girl in Coldtown by Holly Black, and this book is about a girl who gets put into a cold town and there she is surrounded by vampires. I adored this book. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. D is for The Disreputable History of Frankie Landau-Banks by E. Lockhart. The book is about a girl called Frankie who is kind of a criminal mastermind. I really love this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Adore E. Lockhart. E is for Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. This book is about 2 teenagers who fall in love with each other. I disliked this book a lot. I think I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, but I didn't like the ending. Wasn't for me. F is for Fallen Kingdoms, which is the first book in the Fallen Kingdoms series by Morgan Rhodes. The book is about a cast of characters who try to save the things they hold dear. Didn't like this book, was way too hyped for me. G is for Girl Online, which is the first book in the Girl Online series by Zoe Sugg. This book is about a girl with a popular blog, and I couldn't care less about this book. I love Zoe though, but I did not like this book. Way too juvenile. H is for Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which is the first book in the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. The book is about a boy who gets shipped off to a magical school to become a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry! That was really French. Oh my god. This book 3 out of 5 stars, the only book in the Harry Potter series I've read, and I think I'm too old to read this for the first time. I is for I'll Give You the Sun by Jenny Nelson, which is about twins dealing with their problems separately and together. I rated this book 5 out of 5 stars. Love everything Jenny Nelson writes. 2 books. But I love what she writes. I love this book. So heartfelt, really amazing. Read it. We're skipping J. K is for The Kiss of Deception, which is the first book in the Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. It's about a girl, Leah, who escapes her fate as a princess to live in a village as, I don't know, a worker, not a princess. I think I rated this book 3 out of 5 stars. It was meh. Didn't like the love interest much. Didn't like Leah much. Didn't like anyone much. L is for The Lightning Thief, which is the first book in Percy Jackson and the Olympians series by Riordan. I don't know how to describe this. It's about a boy who is a half-god. Yeah, he's a half-god and he has to have all of these magical adventures to save people and stuff. Just have adventures basically as a half-god with all of his half-god friends. It's the only book I've read in the Percy Jackson series. Didn't like it much, didn't get the humour, maybe because I've read it in Dutch. I also have it on my shelf, don't know why I didn't just get that. Shit, now I have to insert a picture. M is for Matched, which is the first book in the Matched trilogy by Ellie Condie. It's a book about a girl named Cassia who has a really long journey that I can't even explain, but she lives in this society, which there's not a one-sentence synopsis, but she lives in this society where everything is organised for everyone. They have a matching ceremony where everyone gets paired off with their perfect match. The society decides what they eat, what they drink, what the medications they take, and all of that stuff. I didn't rate this book because it was such a long time ago I read it, and when I joined Goodreads it was a long time ago I read it, so I didn't rate it, but I know I really enjoyed it when I was younger, and I know a lot of people don't enjoy it, but I really, really did, and I read the whole trilogy, and I just loved it. N is for Night Film by Marisha Pessl, and this book is about a man who becomes obsessed with this filmmaker. I rate this book 5 out of 5 stars. One of the first thrillers I've ever read, and it was so good. So much suspense. People say it's boring, but honestly, it was mind-blowing to me. One of the best books I've ever read. It's in a really cool format as well, with pictures and documents and all of that, but not the whole book. There's loads of text, but so good. O is for Only Everything, which is the first book in the True Love trilogy by Kieran Scott, and this book is about a goddess goddess. I will remember her name, Cupid. I think she is Cupid. And she gets sent down to Earth because she had relationships with a mortal, and she has to pair up 3 couples, I believe, and they have to stay together, and then she can go back to being a goddess. I think I rated this 3 out of 5 stars. It was okay. It was unique. It was like nothing I've ever read before, but I didn't read the rest of the trilogy. I've only read this first book, and it was enough for me because I didn't like much the couples she paired off together. But I really like True, which is the main character's name, though. She had some spunk. She is for the Purgatorium, which is the first book in the Purgatorium series by, oh my god, forgot the name, Pohler. And this is basically about, I think, a girl who gets sent to this island. It's a horror book, so it's a horror island, and it did scare me a bit. It was such a weird story, though. I don't know what I've even rated this. I think 3 stars. It was okay, but I was like, nothing I've ever read before, but if you like horror, I guess you could read it. It's also by an independent author, so it was self-published, I believe, so check that out. We're skipping Q as well. R is for Rockaholic by C.J. Skews. It's about a girl who accidentally kidnaps this rock star. Didn't like this one much. I didn't get the plot. I didn't get the obsession with the rock star, and I guess the main character didn't as well eventually, because the rock star was so boring and so disappointing. For S, I have Sisters Red, which is the first book in a fairy tale retelling series by Jackson Pearce. It's a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, but I honestly couldn't tell you much about it because it's been such a long time. So I think that tells you a lot about the story. It was kind of forgettable to me. I've read a lot of Jackson Pearce's books, and I think 3, not that much, but yeah, they were all kind of forgettable to me. C is for Throne of Glass, which is the first book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. Throne of Glass is about a girl named Selena Sadothian, and she is stuck in this prison under the castle, I don't even know, and she gets out and she has to fight to be the king's champion. Really like Throne of Glass. I ship Dorian and Selena. I've only read the first book again, so I'm kind of behind. I've also read the prequel novellas, but yeah, I need to reread Throne of Glass and then read the rest of the series, but don't count on it. Don't count on that happening anytime soon. Don't have anything for you. B is for Vicious, which is the first book in the Vicious trilogy, the Duology series, I don't even know, by V.E. Schwab. And Vicious is this morally complex story about these 2 characters. I think one is called Eli, and I forgot the other guy's name, but they're both really morally ambiguous. They both have these superhuman abilities. I didn't rate this book highly. I didn't really like it. I didn't get what everyone was saying. Like, there's so many books that have morally ambiguous characters. This really isn't the first book that has morally ambiguous characters, guys. I didn't like it. I just didn't. It just ended, and yeah. W is for Winger, which is the first book in the Winger trilogy by Andrew Smith. And this book is about a boy who I forgot the name of, Ryan Dean. I think it was Ryan Dean, and he gets sent to this boarding school where he makes friends and lives, basically. And Winger stands for his position on the rugby field? Rugby? I don't even know what it's called. Rugby? Football? I think football. I really like this, but I didn't really like the main character. I think he was 13 or 14, but he had such a foul mouth. He was just constantly talking about sex and everything, and I was like, not everyone thinks constantly about sex. Not every single boy who's 13 or 14 thinks everything is sex. Don't have anything for X. For Y, I have The Young Elites, which is the first book in the Young Elites trilogy by Marie Lu. The Young Elites is about a girl called Alina who discovers she has these powers. She's a Malfetto, which means she has been touched by the blood fever, and she survived, but she has a physically deformed face, and she is basically not wanted anywhere. Really liked it. Haven't read anything by Marie Lu before, but I really enjoyed this one, especially because Alina was the main character, and she became darker and darker throughout the book, and I really enjoyed that journey of hers. I don't have anything for letter Z either. So my question was, for letters I don't have, which are letters Z, X, Q, U, and J. Give me recommendations with books starting with those letters in the title, please. So I hope you liked my A to Z alphabet thingy for YA books. I'm sorry I couldn't fill every letter, but I didn't have any want to read books on my TBR, and I didn't have any read books on my TBR that started with those letters. I also just realised I didn't even have any TBR books on this list. They were all books I've already read. So I didn't know that I didn't insert those. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books, what you think about them. Which books do you want to read? Leave your recommendations down below, please. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.